Period of not wanting to tell hardly anybody about it.
And I decided then to just not say anything about it, because it just sounded too crazy to me.
I had to settle for myself whether or not I had had a psychotic episode.
The near-death experience is so profoundly different from anything that they ever experienced in their life. Very, very difficult for these near-death experiencers to slowly start to have the courage to share this with other people.
And what I think is more interesting in my life is what happened after the light. I changed. I wound up in graduate school of social work, going into the field of death and dying. A good fit. I wasn't afraid of death. Wonder why.
The number one thing is that they come back and they do not have a fear of death.
The fear of death is certainly gone, and when it comes my time to go, I'm ready.
Some people do come back endowed by special gifts. Very often these gifts are described as being of increasing sensitivity to other people, sort of an intuitiveness that operates at a very high level. They can be very intuitive, very empathic with regard to other people, especially their emotions.
After my near-death experience, I came back with a real heightened sense of intuition.
We just look at life a little different. I want to still work. I want to play music as much as I can. I want to help other people because I'm so fortunate.
It's like I'm back to have really outrageous experiences and then turn them into a way to help other people. And thus started the whole idea of having support groups. And now they exist around the world through this organization, the International Association for Near-Death Studies.
I had no idea that there were actually groups of people that got together and shared these experiences.
And as I sat there and listened to some of these people, I'm going, uh-oh. There's other people that get this too.
And it was absolutely wonderful to find this group. And then, of course, the icing on the cake was my meeting Paul when I did.
It has changed my entire life. It changed the way I felt about how I wanted to live my life, how I wanted to fit in.
Kenneth Ring, PhD, had come to town from the International Association for Near-Death Studies to meet near-death experiencers with research potential.
I have had a long time to wonder, what does this all mean?
We're all connected on some level.
I could see how my life was affecting the world.
The point of being here is to love and to grow. And this is school. And there are lessons that we're all supposed to understand.
Well, I think in the overall for us here, this is just a learning thing. This is just a very small stop on a bigger picture.
As an expert, the most professional expert thing I can tell you about what it all means and what is the meaning of life is, I don't know.
Everybody is going to experience what I experienced at some point. Most of the time, people don't come back from it. It's called dying.
The near-death experience for the entire world, for each and every one of us, is a profound message of hope. That message of hope is we don't really die, that we're going to continue to have a life after we die, and that it's wonderful.
I want to make sure that when my friends go by my casket at the end, I don't want them to say, gee, it looks pretty good. I want them to say, he couldn't have lived another day.
Well, you listen to different aspects of these different versions of near-death experience. I want to add at the last that the most scientific kind of recorded and documented near-death experience happens in a hospital, because at that moment you can just document the heart. The heart has no activity, has stopped for a few minutes. The brain has no activity. Brain waves is showing a flat line, and only in those cases you can verify that the things that happens after that moment was not the kind of events that the patient has been able to guess or has been able to hear or see. In most of these documented cases of near-death experiences that Dr. Greyson talked about, the eyes has been covered by ribbons or medical eye cover, and the patient was in deep coma and couldn't see or hear anything. Or there are also cases that the patient has been blind since birth and still reporting these visions. And as I said, the current level of medical science has no explanation for these cases. But we are gradually running out of time with this. I insisted that you listen to the original entire lecture yourself, because I'm not expert in this, but I didn't want to report in a distorted way or in maybe inaccurate way. I would like to finish this section and open the session for the questions and answers if you have any. There are also papers on your left side, which if you wish to leave us your email so that you can receive the next upcoming events and the different information that we got, and we can forward it to you if you're interested. You can leave your email on there. And I would like to take your questions and comments on this, because they are very valuable to me. Thank you for attending this session.
Does the library have that journal that that Dr. Greyson was showing on his shelf there? It's journal.
I didn't check myself. I believe we have, but I haven't looked at it. We always think that these are just related to psychology major, and we are only those people are dealing with these things. But actually, I think we have to go there and pull up these journals and take a look at some of these cases too. Yes, good question. Any other question? So thank you very much.